The Galactic Empire laughed at Earth's prototypes, until one ship wiped out their fleet. Commander Zaxtor couldn't stop the mandibles on his face from clicking in amusement as he reviewed Earth's diplomatic transmission. The holographic display showed what the humans called their defense fleet, 12 cobbled-together vessels that looked like they'd been assembled in a scrapyard. "They want to negotiate?" Zaxtor's second officer hissed, her scales rippling with laughter. "With those primitive constructs?" The Caldrith Empire had conquered 47 star systems in the past decade. Their fleet of biomechanical warships could glass a planet in hours. Earth, with its laughable technology, would fall before the week was out. "Send them our standard terms," Zaxtor ordered. "Unconditional surrender, or annihilation." What the commander didn't know was that humanity had a particular talent, one that had served them well throughout their violent history. When faced with superior force, humans didn't play fair. They improvised. 3 days later, the Caldrith Armada arrived at Earth's orbit, 200 warships, each bristling with plasma cannons and quantum torpedoes. The human fleet waited at a distance, 11 ships now, Zaxtor noted. "One must have malfunctioned already." "Pathetic," he muttered. Then he saw it. The 12th ship. It hung alone, separate from the others, dark and silent. Unlike its companions, this vessel wasn't a patchwork of different technologies. It was sleek, obsidian black, and completely unmarked. Something about it made Zaxtor's primary heart skip a beat. "Scan that vessel," he ordered. "Sir, our sensors can't penetrate its hull. The readings are impossible. It's simultaneously registering as solid matter and empty space. A sensor ghost. They're trying to intimidate us with tricks." Zaxtor opened a channel. "Human vessel, you have 1 minute to surrender before we reduce your planet to." The black ship moved. One moment it was there, the next it had crossed 50,000 kilometers in a blink. No acceleration, no energy signature. It simply was. Then it fired. But it didn't fire weapons. It fired time. The first wave of Caldrith ships aged 1,000 years in 3 seconds. Their hulls corroded, their systems failed, their crews became dust. The second wave tried to retreat, but space folded around them like paper, crushing 20 vessels into a singularity the size of a marble. Zaxtor's ship lurched as reality bent. Through the viewport, he watched in horror as the black ship began to multiply. Or perhaps it was moving through every possible position simultaneously. Quantum uncertainty made manifest. "What are they using?" his weapons officer screamed. "What is that?" The answer came through the communication channel in a calm, human voice. "Prototype 13. We weren't sure it would work, honestly. Thanks for volunteering as test subjects." Zaxtor finally understood. The other 11 ships weren't the fleet. They were the failures. 11 prototypes that hadn't worked, each representing a different failed attempt to break the laws of physics. But the 12th had succeeded. The black ship wasn't using conventional weapons. It was weaponized experimental physics, a vessel that existed partially outside normal spacetime, crewed by volunteers who'd undergone cybernetic modifications so extensive they were barely human anymore. The ship didn't obey the universe's rules because its crew had figured out how to politely ask the universe to look the other way. "Retreat," Zaxtor ordered. "Full retreat." Too late. The black ship was everywhere now, a probability wave of destruction. It was in front of them, behind them, inside their shields. Each Caldrith vessel it touched either vanished, aged into scrap, or was crushed into exotic matter. In 7 minutes, the entire Caldrith Armada was gone. The black ship returned to Earth, where it promptly suffered a catastrophic containment failure and had to be jettisoned into the sun. The crew, their bodies and minds irreversibly altered by their impossible vessel, couldn't return to normal life. They'd become something else, something that hurt to look at, something that existed in too many dimensions. But Earth was saved. The Caldroth Empire, humbled and terrified, signed a peace treaty within the week. They told every civilization in the galaxy the same warning: never invade Earth. Not because humans have the best technology, but because they'll build something that barely works, crew it with volunteers who become monsters, and use it anyway. Humans don't build reliable weapons. They build desperate ones. And that, the galaxy learned, was infinitely more terrifying.